fellow cyborgs, and welcome to my Victober 2020 TBR. Victober is a month-long readathon happening in October. It is hosted this year by Katie from Books and Things, Kate Howe, and Lucy the Reader. There are 5 challenges plus a group read, and some of the books that I'm going to be reading will abide by those challenges, and some I just want to read, and that's what I'm going to do. The group read is Shirley by Charlotte Bronte, which may be my favorite classic of all time. I won't know until I reread this year, but I'm very excited that this ended up being the pick because I was planning on rereading this at some point this year anyway. The Life of Charlotte Bronte by Elizabeth Gaskell is the first biography of Charlotte Bronte. This could qualify for the challenge of reading one of your favorite genres but as a Victorian book, and one of my favorite genres is nonfiction. Or this could qualify for read something from a previous Victober TBR, which this was. I ended up DNFing this not very far in because it wasn't as Elizabeth Gaskell-y as I wanted. Because this has a lot of excerpts from letters that the Brontes wrote rather than just Gaskell's prose style. So I guess this could also maybe work for the prompt of reading letters or journals of a Victorian. I will say though that if I'm not getting on with this the second time that I'm reading it, I will quickly DNF because I don't have time to read books to suffer through them. M.A. Anders and I are going to be buddy reading 2 books together. One is Sylvia's Lovers by Elizabeth Gaskell. This is another previous Victober TBR book. I attempted to read it last year and just wasn't really getting on with it, so I'm hoping having a buddy to read it with will help me get through the final of Gaskell's novels that I have to read. Though not Victorian, it still feels very much like we're paying homage to the hosts. We want to read Evelina by Frances Burney. This is a novel told in letters, so an epistolary novel from what I can tell, though this was written in the late 1700s, so definitely probably like 60 years before the Victorian period, but hey. I also want to read The Half-Sisters by Geraldine Jewsbury, which comes highly recommended from Katie from Books and Things. Maybe during this reading I will try to do the challenge of wearing something Victorian while reading. Maybe I'll just hold a cup of tea next to a teapot, and that'll count as wearing something Victorian. I also want to get to the audiobook of The Return of the Native by Thomas Hardy because it's narrated by Alan Rickman. This has been on my audiobook physical TBR for years now, and I just haven't gotten to it, so I'm going to prioritize it this year. And if I manage to get through all of those things, I do want to read an autobiography by Anthony Trollope. I have a biography about Anthony Trollope that I want to be reading in Nonfiction November, and so I think it will be fun to read his own autobiography for Victober. But that's only if I get the other things read first. So wish me luck on tackling these Victober reads, and hopefully I will love more of these Victober reads than I have in the past. Victober has definitely been more about the anticipation and the idea of it than the actual enjoyment of the books that I've been picking in recent years, weirdly. Thank you to the hosts for once again hosting Victober, which is one of the most wonderful times of the year. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, read some Victorian classics and continue to be lovely.